Hi guys, my name's Brandon and welcome to Brandon Goes Traveling. My job is to help you get outside, go travel, and explore the world. I hope to give you some helpful tips and tricks on where to go, and please feel free to give me a like and subscribe. If there's any videos that you would like me to make, please let me know. So today we're going to talk about a few places on the Isle of Skye, the overall Highlands, Loch Ness, Inverness, and a few other places throughout Scotland, mainly close to the Isle of Skye and Inverness, kind of staying in northern Scotland, if you will. So let's get started. So let's jump in on the first place that we're going to talk about, and that is the Cullen Hills on the Isle of Skye. And man, if this photo does not do it justice, it is some of the most beautiful scenery that you'll ever see in your entire life. Tons to do out there for all the adventures. If you like to hike, if you like to swim, if you like to go to lakes, this is the place to be. Loads and loads to do. And supposedly the Fountain of Youth is found somewhere on this isle as a whole. So while you're up there walking around, feel free to have a look for that Fountain of Youth. And if you find it, please drop the location below because I would like to know. But yes, tons to do. I'll be quite honest, I didn't actually hike up to this spot. There's a road not too far from here because it was proper chucking it down. And I mean, I was drenched by this point when I took the photo. However, there is a road there, so if you don't necessarily have to hike up here, you can take a car or take a bus up on to that path. Just another photo from the same region. This is looking to the right. So the previous photo was actually looking to the left, but this is just looking to the right. You see that road I was talking about kind of winds up to a spot where you can view and have that viewing points. But there's tons and tons of spots to hike around here. I saw loads of trails, and if I was there during the summertime, I would absolutely do one of these trails around here. Just another photo. That's me in the distance. You can see me holding the umbrella because, I mean, when I say visibility was unclear, I mean, I got very lucky to just to get these shots, and it was proper chucking it down. So next place I'd like to point out is Liot Falls, and this is another interesting viewpoint. So there's a few areas you could hike around here that actually takes you to a beach where you could view uh, the waterfalls as well as look out onto I believe it's the Atlantic Ocean. But please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But this is another scenic point and another good stopping ground. What I will say, if it is windy, do be careful because I was there with about 70-mile-per-hour winds, and if I got anywhere near that ledge, trust me, I felt like I was gonna fall in, and that umbrella kind of basically I had to put my umbrella down because I thought it was gonna take me off like a kite. But yeah, so definitely be careful if you go there if it's windy. Uh, Now, unfortunately, when I went to the Old Man of Store, it was incredibly foggy and I couldn't see anything. So I had to borrow this picture from Google. But this is another scenic site. I mean, I could make out the rocks of the mountain from the road, but it was just really foggy, and unfortunately I wasn't able to get a good photo. But it does take about an hour to hike this, so you can actually hike this during the summertime, or you can hike it now. But you know, if it's raining and in the middle of winter, you don't really want to do that, to be honest. But you can hike this. Definitely, I recommend doing it in the summer. It does take about an hour to an hour and a half from the road to reach the actually the Old Man of Store, and it is huge. I mean, this picture does not do it justice because it is absolutely massive. Next is a place that you could stop off at. It's called Morvich. This isn't actually on the Isle of Skye. This is in the Highlands, heading up to the Isle of Skye. So if you take the highway from Inverness and start going towards the Isle of Skye, you'll get a whole bunch of different viewing points you could stop off at, and this is one of them. And it absolutely is beautiful. The lake is stunning, and I got lucky enough to actually see some of the biggest deer I've ever seen. Now I'm from upstate New York, so we do get some big deer over there. But this is the deer here out of there were on steroids because they were absolutely massive. This is again another photo of Morvich, still beautiful, and do recommend checking this out. Next is the formidable Loch Ness. So unfortunately, I didn't actually get to see Nessie. I was hoping I would. Apparently, there's a apparently she if she is going to be seen, she's actually seen a majority of the time right here in this corner. Let me pick a better color here. Right here in this corner. That's where she's seen the majority of the time. Now, unfortunately, she wasn't there when I came, but there's always next time. But still absolutely beautiful. And there's also the Urquhart Castle here in the corner. So this is actually right off of Loch Ness. And in order to get there from Inverness, it's really close. It's only about, I'd say a 25-minute drive, if that, maybe a 30-minute drive. Really easy to get to, and the surrounding area around Loch Ness is absolutely beautiful. It's actually, and I didn't know this at the time, 750 feet deep. I didn't know that, and I thought that was really interesting because I did not think Loch Ness was actually that deep. And just one more interesting fact. Apparently they did a like a scan of Loch Ness not too long ago, and what they did was they had basically a couple boats lined up, and they used sonar to go all the way across Loch Ness and then all the way back through Loch Ness, and they did actually manage to find something, and they're not sure what it is, but from what I hear and from what a few of the locals were telling me, they seem to think it's eels. So just a thought, maybe eels, maybe Nessie, who knows? But just thought I'd let you know they did actually find something. So if you do make it there, keep your eyes peeled for sure, especially in this area. Next is Portree. So this is on back on the Isle of Skye. This is this classic picture of Portree that most people get when they go there to get the colorful houses. I will say if you go in the winter time, there are a lot of shops closed. There are a few cafes and pubs open in the city, but it's off season, so there's not really a whole lot going on there. You will find a few things, and it is a good stopping ground, especially if you are traveling from Inverness, because by then you're gonna want to grab something to eat, grab some lunch, which you can do here at Portree, and plus you got to get the scenic or the classic picture if you go there. So next up is the Elian and Donan Castle. This is about a 2-hour drive or so from Inverness, and it is one of the most beautiful castles I've ever seen. I've seen a few now throughout Europe, and I really did like this one. I thought it was very picturesque. Right, so it's right on a lake with the Highlands in the background, and it really is a beautiful, beautiful place. Unfortunately, depending on when you're watching this video, currently it's January 2023 and it's currently closed for visiting right now. But I would definitely recommend going in the summertime or when it's more open season and check out the inside of the castle because it is very, very beautiful and very nice. But equally, if you just want to get that photo while you're driving up to the Isle of Skye from Inverness or nearby, you could still visit the castle, still walk across this bridge here, and walk around the castle and get some of the photos. Just be careful if it is windy because I went with about 70-mile-per-hour winds, and as you can see in this photo right here, some of the waves, and it is very, very hard to walk across this bridge. I will be honest with you, and so much I thought it would be a good idea to get a photo from this green patch right here, and a giant gust of wind came and it actually knocked me right over. So do be careful if you go when it's windy. But yeah, these are some of the views, and this is a view from the castle at night, and just when I was driving back to Inverness. And last but not least is Inverness, the capital of the Highlands. Now, Inverness is quite a unique city. I really enjoyed it. It's one of the cities where I feel like you're not actually in a city while you're there. It is still a busy place. There's still a lot of nightlife to do, a lot of live bands that go on till 1, 2 in the morning. So tons and tons of life there. But you just had that small, quaint feeling, and I feel like this photo kind of does that justice. So as you'll also see here is we have the River Ness, and if you keep walking to the left-hand side, you'll actually be able to walk for a few miles down the River Ness, and it is a beautiful thing to do. And you'll also see that in comparison to all the other photos, is there's blue sky here, and that is because actually Inverness almost has its own little microclimate, so it could be chucking it down, really raining in the Isle of Skye, but only just a few hours away in Inverness, it could be a completely different day. So I thought I'd end it out with a sunny photo. And anyways, that does it for this tour. If you do have any questions, please feel free to drop them below. Please feel free to give me a like. And also, if you'd like me to make a video on any other place throughout Europe or just in general, please do give me a shout. Trying to make my way around the globe to get these photos for you guys. But as always, I guess I'm working on it. So yeah, that does it for today. Thanks.